to dig into the vaults and show you some of the process that went behind developing some of these ideas, how I trapped them, how I began to work on them, the ways that I did it. For example, I have this song called A Memory, and the title of the song was based on the rhythm of the melody, the main melody, the dee 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 dee, right? So it'd be so that was kind of the idea, the initial idea, and the whole song came from that. A memory that speaks inside me, a tortured scene as I turn to. The riff came from that, and then, you know, the way that song got put together was approaching the writing process in so many different ways. So it was implementing this kind of automatic kind of technique thing, right, for the initial inspiration of it, and then developing it went from, okay, so now I need to write the guitar parts. Those were written in different locations, like some were written at home and then some were written at work. Like, I think a student called out and I wound up having some free time to kind of jam on some riff ideas that I thought about as I was listening to what I had recorded on the train, I think. Actually, you know what, if I go back, we had the main melody. And then from the main like vocal melody, we had that basic lyric, A Memory. Then from there, I also had that main riff that pretty much mimics the vocal melody, which I don't normally do, but it sounded really good. Like, it just complemented it really well. From that, I wound up getting the tempo, and it just sounded like this really super sludgy kind of halftime, like ga dee 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 ga. That was kind of the vibe that I was hearing from that dream I had. And then, after that idea was developed and recorded, I started experimenting with different rhythms, like contrasting rhythms. So it wasn't just this, you know, Neanderthal hammer fist sludge fest the entire time. So there was stuff that kind of picked up a little bit. There was a bit more double kick. Still kind of like caveman, but you know, there's more chugging. You know, it's like which I felt added to it. In fact, it started to take like a vibe that reminded me kind of like Down or Pantera. And then I decided to run with that. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else. Oh, so because it was taken from a dream, you know, this idea was kind of like formed on its own. And it didn't sound like stuff that I normally do. I do a lot of different types of metal stuff, but this one definitely had like a Slayer vibe, especially vocally. Cold reflection! Right behind a shadow self! The incessant disease of foreboding as the hour approaches. Had that kind of Slayer, like, you know, delivery. So I wanted to implement that as well. Lashing out in vengeance towards the other self. The intention to seek a new order, returns as chaos comes. Getting the hang of it. So I had enough to kind of put the whole song together. So just to reiterate, all this stuff I'm talking about right now is centered around songwriting techniques. One of the many modules found in the Devin Townsend Creative Academy. If you're a complete noob to songwriting, I think you'll get a lot out of it. If you are a seasoned veteran of songwriting, I think you will find it's a really, really good investment. I'm gonna be talking about all the modules coming up, so I'll do my best to try to kind of condense it down into something that's digestible and hopefully makes sense. Let me know what you think. Tell Devin I said hi. All right, bye.